Hello everybody, welcome back. My name is Nathan and I represent Blitz Fitness. Today I'm going to talk about a client success story which seen him go from overweight to getting pretty lean in a time frame of 12 weeks. And in that time we lost 11 kg of body weight and around 9 to 10% body fat. The one thing this client done was he was very dedicated and he was all in on his goals and basically just applied the tools that I gave him. No questions asked, just dived straight into it. I'm a coach who does not overcomplicate things. I keep things very simple. However, the things that I keep simple, we have to execute them perfectly. So let's get in the video now. What we've done with this client here is a goal was set. He wanted us to get fitter and get abs. It was quite broad at first, but when I sort of dived a little bit deeper, he put a value of around 8 to 10 kilos to get to his goal. And with a body fat calculator, we did determine that a 9 to 10 kilo drop would see him get to a body fat percentage that would see him get abs, as you've seen the pictures already. Second thing that we said was a time frame was clear, which was 12 weeks. So with us having a goal in mind and the time frame set, that let me do step 3, which was to prescribe him his calorie intake, the workouts, and lifestyle changes that wasn't needed to be done. You've all clicked on videos on social media which say calorie deficit is the most important thing for fitness, and I am going to be preaching that because yes, that is the most important thing when it comes to fat loss. Forget fasting, forget fat burning pills, forget the greatest exercise to get abs. You need to be in a calorie deficit to lose weight. Going on from that, this client was a very busy individual, so we implemented 3 full body sessions over a week period. We didn't train 5 times a week, 6 times a week, 7 times a week. We just went very intense for 3 sessions a week, covering full body movement. And last but not least, lifestyle change that had to be made. Again, as I mentioned before, this client was a very busy individual working in finance, so lifestyle changes seen us having to get him to move his body more. We had to get him to change his habits at work instead of going out drinking every night, eating out every day. We had to change simple things that eventually led to us having a great success story. And most importantly, the thing with this client was he was trying to grasp too much too soon. So I had to manage his expectations and let him realize that his dream body was not going to happen overnight. It was going to happen over a 10 to 12 week time frame, which at first was hard for him to grasp. But once he started seeing the vision, he started to be more appreciative and again more patient with the approach. Last but not least, we started the journey and made tweaks along the way. Again, the most important thing is it's great having a plan, it's great having a goal, however you just need to start. Then when you start, you can make changes along the way if you need to. Going on from that, I am going to talk about the time frame that we set. So again, week 1 to week 12 did of course see us make changes. When it comes to calories, we set a pretty aggressive calorie drop at first because I wanted to see how the client would respond to being in the calorie deficit, and most importantly, I wanted to get him to educate himself on how to track calories. The calorie deficit we've done at first was around 350 calories, and again I did prescribe him to do 10 to 12,000 steps a day, which would see in 150, 200 down, so we were in a 500 calorie deficit per day. At first, this was a great response. However, by about week 3 or 4, we hit a bit of a stagnant, and that was because he was doing something stupid with his food and he was tracking his food wrong, hence seeing us at a maintenance a little bit. So again, from that point, I didn't tweak the calories, I just tweaked his education, and once he learned that, we start dropping again. I'm not a coach to change things drastically. We were riding the wave, seeing pretty decent progress, so the deficit didn't need to change. However, at around week 8 to 9, the client started showing great signs of fatigue. I had seen his eyes, I had seen the general body movement when he come to the gym. And again, his lifts were sort of staying the same / not progressing as much as previous in the last 8 to 9 weeks. So as a result of that, I sort of, instead of being a 300 to 400 calorie deficit, I upped his calories slightly, but at the same time, I made him up his steps at the same time. So psychologically in his head, he was thinking, right, great, I'm eating more, but I was making him do more output. Hence, the deficit was sort of still the same. He seemed okay with it, so I didn't make any changes. However, in the last 2 weeks, I again just upped the calories a little bit more in order to allow for a good reverse once he was out of a deficit. This is something for a later video. I'm not going to go into too much depth. However, in this reverse, we didn't change the protein. All that we've done was we upped the carbs and dropped the fats to allow for macronutrient changes. This is for a later video, and I'll educate that more at a later time. Going on from that, our workouts, as I said, nothing too drastic. This client had one knee problem. He was okay though, we just didn't do any sort of deep squatting patterns, but we benefited a lot greatly from other things such as leg extension, hamstring curl. Again, we've done some sort of split squat and motion, but overall you want upper body development, so we're focusing on upper body movements. From that, we've done 3 sessions a week, and we focus on progressive overload, which again is increasing volume as time goes on. That could be increasing the weight and dropping the reps, or increasing the reps and just keeping the same weight, either or. There was no real changes as time went on. Again, once the client was showing signs of being a bit bored of a movement after a 4 to 6 week coaching block, I changed something around. So instead of machine, I might do dumbbell. Instead of dumbbell, I might go back to machine, and so on. Supplements, very easy. This client loved the kind of C4, which is the pre-workout supplement. Nothing against that, but again, if you take it late at night, it can affect your sleep, and sleep is very important in a fat loss phase. And then second to that, creatine. This client wanted to take creatine. I'm very big on creatine. It's very good for cognitive function. And again, it just helps you on a fat loss phase, makes your muscles feel fuller, helps digestion of foods into your bloodstream. It's a very good supplement. It's basically legal steroids. That's all it is. And as I mentioned before, habit change. So again, stop eating out when he was working. That saved him a lot of calories, and again, educated himself on how to actually track food, and most importantly, saved him a lot of money when he was out with work dinners and everything. He had to move his body. So again, this person was quite a sedentary person who sat behind a desk most of the time, so I got him to move his body and help from there. And last but not least, I can't read my own writing, fucking hell. Again, when he was working, instead of eating out and having takeaways, just getting fit meals and good nutrients into his actual body. Over a 12-week period, again, this client was a sort of star-studded client. He didn't really have any questions, he was a bit of a robotic person, which on a fat loss journey, you do have to sort of become robotic. Fat loss is very hard, but it is very simple, and it's about doing the same thing day in and day out on a repetitive basis. And again, if you sort of see any changes, make some tweaks, but don't make them too soon. Ride the wave and just appreciate the journey. You might get a bit frustrated at first on the journey, however, just stay patient and go with the flow, and eventually you will see the results that you want. If you are someone who liked the results that were shown at the start of the video, and again throughout the video, feel free to reach out. And again, with this YouTube series, I'm happy to answer any questions that you have on a future video. Also, if you want to work with me, feel free to drop me a message, and I'll be happy to book a discovery call with you and see how we can achieve your goals going forward in the future. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like, leave a comment, and again, I would appreciate subscribe if you would like to. Thank you.